Now, let's take a break from paperwork and jump into a real-world scenario with my friend and fellow election officer, Remy. In this scene, we'll explore one of the most common situations election officers encounter at the polling place, determining whether a voter is still eligible to vote at their registered precinct. The scene begins with our election officer informing the voter that the address they provided does not match what's listed in the poll book. An action.
I'm sorry, your current address does not match what's in our poll book. Did you move recently?
I moved back in October.
Okay, I will have to check your new address to see if you're still eligible to vote here. What is your new address?
1500 Bridgeport Drive, Dumfries.
I will check your address and let you know your options.
Thank you, Remy and Mr. Voter, for the great acting so far. Now, let's go over the tools our election officer will use in this scenario. Moving conditions chart. I'll provide an in-depth walkthrough of this on the next slide. Poll book, specifically, the street lookup tool to search voter addresses. Precinct list, a resource everyone is familiar with. Interactive map, a new, easy-to-use tool available on your precinct-issued iPad. While optional, it's helpful if the street lookup tool in your poll book can't identify an address. You'll see a short demo of this later in the scenario. The moving conditions chart isn't a new tool, but its importance has grown since the introduction of same-day registration, SDR. You'll find this chart in your chief binder. The row headers on the chart represent different date ranges for when the voter moved, while the column headers indicate how far they moved. By answering these two key questions, you can use the chart, just like a multiplication table, to determine the voter's eligibility. Now let's move on to step 1.
Election Officer Remy here, taking the wheel back. For step 1, I need to determine which row the voter falls under. Since he told me he moved this past October, that places him here, in the second row of the moving conditions chart. Now, I need to find out how far the voter moved from this precinct, and for that, I'll need to check my poll book. I just opened the street lookup tool in my poll book for step 2. Now, I need to search for the voter's address to determine how far they moved. I have the voter's full address, but I remember from training that when searching, I should only enter the street name for the best results. After completing my search, I see the results below, and it confirms that the voter's new address places him in precinct 308. However, if no results appear, try using the new optional map tool. And remember, you can always call the friendly folks at Chief HQ for assistance. Map open. First, I'm going to clear these boxes out of the way before I start typing the address. Oh, look, it even auto-populates. That makes things easy. This is the one. The address is entered, and yes, it's inside the precinct 308 boundary. The PWC elections team really knows how to make our job easier. Step number 3, the precinct list. We already know that the voter's new address places them in a different precinct. Now, we'll use the precinct list to determine whether their current and new precincts fall within the same congressional district, CD. CDs are listed in this column. Here, we have my precinct 101 and the new precinct 308. Comparing their CDs, we can see that they are not in the same district. Now, it's time to go back to the moving conditions chart and determine which column the voter falls under based on where they moved. Since they didn't move within the precinct, column 1 is out. They moved within the county but not within the same congressional district, so column 2 is also out. Column 3 applies to voters who moved to a different county or congressional district, but still within Virginia, and that's exactly where our voter falls. Now that I know both the column and row where the voter falls, I can find their intersection on the chart to make my final verdict. It looks like the only option for this voter is to vote SDR provisional at precinct 308. All right, time to deliver the news. Hopefully, he takes it well. Because you moved before November 6th, and your new address places you in a different precinct and congressional district. You must vote SDR provisional at your new polling place.
I see. Okay, thank you for your help.
You're welcome. See you next time. I mean, that is if you move back to this area. And there goes another happy voter. That was a tough one. The training really paid off. Now, to get a head start on the closing paperwork.
And cut. Great job, team, truly an Oscar-worthy performance.